Okay, Khan Shalom Akim, Khan Halayim Na Yahaba Shem Yahshua Bashem Kodash, double honest to Rams and Apostles, and Thawdi Yahshua for the strength in order to make this video. And on the topic of women, I haven't really made a video on it on some time, man. So, I decided, alright, time to make a video on that topic, man. Because, nowadays, even just by observing women, in the streets, really just their attire in general. Even, I think brothers have seen this video where they've compared the mindset of women back in, I'm not sure if it was 1930s. Point is, it was 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s onwards, before 2000s. And then they compared the mindsets of women of today, man, let's say 2019 onwards, man. Pretty much after 2000, that's when things progressively got worse. But even just observing those two mindsets, the women understood their purpose prior to the 2000s compared to now, where you got, I'm not even sure, like the fourth wave of feminism right now that's going on. That's infected the minds of young girls, and of course they grow up getting taught by, their mothers, of whom are not teaching them properly, which we'll get to that in Titus 2. But of course, just observing all of that, it's just things progressively getting bad, getting worse, man. The reason why is because it's also a signal that Esau's kingdom is also coming to an end as well. Because Esau's the one who's allowing all this, I want to call it propaganda, or really just forms of influence through the media to enter into the mind of a woman, man. So of course he's referred to in the scriptures as a weaker vessel as well. So of course he's more subject to manipulation than men. So yeah, that's really the point of this video. I think I named soon women will learn their purpose, or their intended purpose, because they've seemed to have forgotten their original purpose, man. So let me just get to it, and who knows, it might be a short video, it might be long. We'll see what happens. So Genesis 2:18. Oh, and Salakias, the brother of Ratazaraha Halawaya, so I forgot to mention it in the beginning, which means willing spirit praise Yahweh. Of course, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, meaning Yahweh in the name of Yahushua. Yahweh meaning, which is the Father's name, who the world ignorantly calls God, but his real name is Yahweh, meaning he exists. And Yahushua means he delivers. He's the Son, of whom the world ignorantly calls him Jesus Christ, and that's not his name. Yahushua is his name, which means he delivers. And who would he deliver? Israelites, man. Well, not all of Israel, but of course starting with the 144,000 elect. And the 1/3 mentioned in Zechariah 13 verse 9. Alright, so let's get this precept here. This is Genesis 2:18. And the Lord God, Yahweh, said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." And of course, I think if I recall correctly, the root word is actually Azar. Azar in the Blue Letter Bible. If you check on it, it should be Azar, like E-Z-E-R, but it's pronounced as Azar, which means really just literally means someone to come in aid of, or to help, or the word succor, S-U-C-C-O-U-R. I think that's how you spell it. And the succor is simply someone to aid someone, to help someone in time of distress or trouble, man. Now that's a rarity when it comes to these women nowadays, man. If a man is going through some stress from work, he comes back, he's still got to deal with the trouble of the women, man, typically. So they're not really easing the distress or the trouble that a man goes through. I'm talking about in the workplace, really. When or any other struggles that a man goes through, the woman ought to be there to help them, de-stress, make them feel relaxed, cook them their food, and basically, make sure they're in a calm state. But nowadays, when the men then come home, typically the woman, especially the Israelite woman, as the brothers call her Eve, which really is just referred to the so-called black woman, southern tribe. Thing is, she's the one who's actually rouse up the man, rouse up her husband. Hence why you could also see why a lot of men left their wives, because of the fact that the women can't deal with just keeping their mouth shut and just doing their purpose, their intended purpose, which is to help him to calm down and obviously not stress them out even more. That's the point. So let me read it one more time. So that's succour. You know, the from the root definition of azar. You know, it's a succour. Succour is someone who aids someone in a time of distress or help, or in time of distress or trouble. So of course, that's the purpose of which women ought to be doing right now. But you know, because we're still living out the curses, you know, the women aren't really in their right state of mind right now. So that's one reason. And of course, because, you know, scripture says a woman shall compass a man. So Eve, just the Israelite woman living in that pride, of course, you know, that's a period of time. But, you know, in that period of time where, you know, she can compass a man, you know, be over him, assert authority over him, you know, that period of time is running out, man. You know, when you got that sand timer where you just see the last piece of sand, you know, trickle down to the bottom of the flask or wherever that hourglass thing is. You know, that we're in that minimum, that last time hold, man, where you got the last little sand particles to fall down until it's like, okay, that period of a woman shall compass a man, that's going to be done and over with, man. Anyways, Jacob's trouble is coming as well, so that's going to be a great humbling for them too. So Genesis 2:18 once more. And the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, said, it is not good that a man should be alone. So of course, you know, the Most High saw that, alright, it ain't going to be ideal for a man to just be alone and doing this thing. You know, but of course, he made him a woman, man, to help him. That's the thing. But remember, I said help. So it's not as if the man would need it. Because, you know, nowadays, if you look at it in the scenario of, you know, men living on their own as well, men can still cook, men can clean on their own, men can go out for shopping, men can till the farm, you know, grow and harvest crops as well. Men can even learn to sew as well. That's the thing. All these things men can also do. But the point is, the woman is to be as an assistant for the man, to help him. You know, he's the one who puts the direction for the family, and then the woman aids him in that direction of which he's putting the family towards, man. The man is supposed to be the leader, and the woman is the assistant to help him. You know, that's just an analogy right there. So, you know, Yara as well, you understand that point there. Even Sarah as well. She's also an example of a woman of whom was an assistant, a help for Abraham, man. So let me get that, because she was she called him Lord. That's really the key part I'm trying to get. She called him Lord. So of course, Lord means really just goes into master, just to simplify things. It goes into calling someone a master, because yes, the men are supposed to be a master onto their women, man. That's the thing. The men are. Things to the modern day woman, that will sound foreign and, you know, wrong in their heads, but that's the way it ought to be. The scriptures say, you know, but of course they will say we're not living in that age. Okay, you can say that, but when time of Jacob's trouble come, where all the men are going to withdraw and it's just going to be, okay, you women do your own thing, you know, deal with whatever trouble you got, then the pain is going to be felt. Then you're going to want to have a master to guide you to, you know, towards the right path. But right now, of course, people want to, when I say people, I'm specifically talking about women here, of course, consider the topic of this video. You know, they want to be in their pride. They want to be in their pride. Okay, I don't need a man, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You know, you can't tell me what to do. Okay, you lead yourself and we'll see how long that will last. That's really what it is. You know, that's the end of any arguments. Let's see how long you can lead yourself for without any downfall. You know, despite all the economy going down and also the troubles to come as well, which not every woman knows about. You know, only those few women that are in this truth that are aware of this. But we're talking about really the worldly women here, man. They're completely unaware of the troubles to come, man. Completely unaware. You know, they may see signs here and there, but even then, you still need a man to guide them to know what to do, man. Even in carnality, Esau's got plans as well, and certain of his women be listening to him. But, you know, of course, the Israelite woman is will be and is in very deep trouble right now, man. Let me try to actually get this scripture here. You know when let's say a teacher and student scenario. You know when a student is getting quite boastful and then he thinks he knows what's up. It's like, okay, let's throw him a challenge to see if he's really mastered the technique. And of course, yeah, typically he would fail. Now let's say if the student even did succeed and was somewhat smart, there'll be an even greater chance to face, man. It's like, okay, you know about this technique, but you still don't know about the master's technique. Which is really like to apply it in this scenario. Eve may do all the stocking up and all that stuff to prepare for the troubles to come, but all of that could be cleared out, man. Because remember, the MOTB season is not just the MOTB that's there, but also the fear that Esau will inflict upon people for not agreeing to his system. That's gonna put fear upon Eve as well, man. As well as Yahweh Shem Yahshua's judgments to Eve for her previous sins of being prideful as well and disrespecting men, and so with arrogancy as well. Right, let me get the one about Sarah and Abraham. Just a quick quote. 18:12. So obviously this was a time when Sarah received the news about her giving birth to Isaac at a very old age. This is just context here. And obviously Abraham also being of old age as well. So it's just context so that I can get straight to the precept. So Genesis 18:12. Therefore Sarah laughed within. Hold on, actually, wait. Right. I'm just reading verse 12. So Genesis 18:12. Actually, verse 10. Let me start from verse 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and were stricken in age. So of course, they were ripe in age, man. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of a woman. So of course her time, her flower, to obviously give birth, she's far surpassed that time, man. That season was way gone. So after the manner of a woman, therefore keep up, verse 12, Genesis 18:12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also? So of course hold on. Yeah, that's the key part. It says, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. So she was referring to Abraham as his Lord, man. So of course, during that time, back in the day, she knew that women obviously had the intended position to help their man, not men. What am I saying? Their man, because of course it's supposed to be one woman to one man. Well, not one woman to one man. Many women to one man. That's the way the natural order of things to be. Of course, typical example being like Solomon, having many wives, as well as Jacob as well having 2 wives too. So, point being is that they were in a subordinate position under men. To speak purely in words. That's the position that women ought to be an assistant. They're not the ones leading. They're the ones helping. They're assigned a role, and then they perform the role in guidance of the men that they're linked to. So that's Sarah right there calling Abraham Lord, which is, in other words, calling him master, man, because he's the one leading Sarah. That's the point. She's following after his lead. That's really what it goes down to. Right, so that's Genesis 2:18. Now, let me get Titus 2. Because this is the state they should be in. But the old women aren't teaching the young ones properly. And the young ones, obviously, they're not gaining any more wisdom that they are right now, man. Of course, the Most High has deprived her of wisdom, which is another precept too. I think that's in Ecclesiasticus 24, if I'm correct. So this is Genesis, actually, Titus 2, verse 3 to about verse 5. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. And you know, the modern day women as well, they're of course false accusers, you know, which is part of their, you know, the demons within them. And they're also given to much wine too, man, because you do see drunken women, you know, near those areas where you got clubs and whatnot. And it says they're supposed to be teachers of good things, man. And they're not supposed to be false accusers and not supposed to be given to much wine. And of course, they can drink it, but they shouldn't be in a state where they get drunk. That's why. It says here that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children. So of course, the older women are supposed to be in a state to teach the young ones to be sober and to love their husbands and to love their children. And it says here also in verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. And that's simple as that, man. Just Titus 2 verse 3 to 5 alone already shows the intended purpose that the Most High had for the woman. You know, for the old woman to the young women, they have their own purpose. The old women have their own purpose to teach the young women properly, you know, to be teachers of good things, you know, which is to love their husbands, to be sober, to love their children as well, to be discreet, chaste. You know, that's reflected in clothing. But today, you don't see women of whom are discreet and chaste. In fact, let me just search the definition of chaste just to get some clarity in here. But it probably refers to something serious, man. To be chaste. Let me search the definition. So the Google definition of chaste, it says, hold on. It says abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse. So really, in other words, they ought to keep themselves for their man only. That's the thing. So that them two can have sex, you know, herself and her man. You know, so really the correct definition is abstaining from extramarital sex, which is really just abstaining from adultery at the end of the day. So that's one thing, what it means to be chaste. So to be discreet, chaste, which obviously means abstaining from adultery, abstaining from sex, really even from young, abstaining from sex until one is joined to a man. You know, there's a procedure to that as well. So keepers at home, so of course they got to look after the house, clean, you know, stay at home. Hence why, you know, women going to work right now, it ain't comfortable for them, man. That's why you always hear about them complaining about something at work. They got to deal with this, you got to deal with that. You know, there's always something to complain about, man. You know, at work. So that proves right there that they are supposed to be at home, because the home is supposed to be the natural place for them to, you know, be in their peace, man. You know, so to just look after the house, clean the house. But because they got demons on them, you know, that's when their husbands are then driven away, man. Husbands are driven away, and then they have to suffer the consequences of their decisions. And even more so, whatever hypocrisy that they're showing right now, they'll still suffer the consequences in Jacob's trouble too. And there's going to be a lot of heavy punishment in the time to come. A lot of heavy punishment. You know, creatures of vengeance, Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18. Obviously, there's Ezekiel 5. I think it's Ezekiel 5. Either Ezekiel 3 or 5, verse 11. You know, about pestilences and dying of the sword as well. There's many scriptures based upon judgment too, man. Of course, America being the main one, Babylon the Great, they're going to be a burnt mountain as well, man. Jeremiah 51 and 25, which is really, of course, the nuclear missiles of Joel 2 striking America. But onto the topic of women, though. that's why they're going to get their judgment, because they're not discreet, they're not chaste, they're not keepers at home, they're not good, they're not obedient to their husbands especially. You know, they're not obedient. Because typically most men, they just want to be able to guide their wives, protect them, you know, show love unto them. But the women, some of them just be manipulating them just for their own greed. That's why the women they're gonna have to suffer the consequences in the future, man, whatever they gotta deal with. And of course, that's gonna be part of the reason. As Apostle Gabar made a recent video as well, and I'm not surprised. It was really, you know, it's all in sync in the spirit as well. I planned a video on making a video about on the topic of women, and you know, he just uploaded one, so I decided to watch that prior to making this one. So the thing is with that is that, yeah, they will have their punishment to come to them. So don't think that, okay, you know, you may be suffering wrongfully right now. It's like, okay, you got to deal with false accusations and you know, just bullshit in general, hypocrisy as well. You know, don't worry. In time to come, Yahweh Yahushua will deal with them. And that's the thing, which is really a very grateful time. That's why, you know, Joe Fast says we're going to laugh during famine and destruction. And part of it is going to be because the women also getting their consequences, man. You can't just go scot free after treating and thinking you can manipulate men and, you know, do all these little tricks and play games. You know, trying to play with men's hearts. Yeah. Consequences are coming. Alright, so that was what did I even read? Titus 2 verse 1, because I missed the page. So it's Titus 2 verse 3 to 5. So yeah, man, all we're supposed to be teaching the young women the way to go, you know, which is being discreet, sober, loving their children, loving their husbands, being obedient to their husbands, you know, all those traits alone, man. But they struggle today, man. they struggle today to do that. And of course, there's a reason to fulfill prophecy as well, you know, all in all. But again, just because they're a weaker vessel don't mean they're not subject to the consequences. They're not subject to judgment. They are subject to judgment. Okay, let's get the next one. So Titus 2. And I read the definition of chaste right there, which is really just abstaining from adultery, if you really put it to its simple terms. Simple meaning, rather. Okay, so that's Titus 2. So, okay, let me see. It's going to get another precept. Alright, so 1 Corinthians, let me get that then. Alright, so 1 Corinthians. What chapter was it? 11? Yeah, 11 verse. Yeah, I'm gonna read a few verses, then I'm gonna skip down to a few verses as well. So this is 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. But I would have you know, yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushai is the Most High Yahweh. So that's the order, that's the natural order. Right there. It goes Yahweh, that's the Most High. Then you got Yahushai. And of course, after Yahushai, you got the Israelite man. After the Israelite man, then you got the woman. That's the order right there. And that's the way Yahweh Shem Yahshai ordained it. So of course, women arguing, saying that we're not equal to men, we're not getting paid that much, we're not getting received as much equality, they say, you know, in all aspects of society. There's a reason why, because the Most High didn't ordain it, that didn't confirm that women and men are supposed to be equal. I already mentioned it in the beginning, Genesis 2 and 18, that a woman is supposed to be a helpmeet, a succor, you know, for the word Azar, you know, in the Blue Letter Bible, where they're supposed to support them, man, in a time of distress or trouble, man. That's part of it. And of course, keepers at home, you know, as we read in Titus 2, to keep the home in a good state, man. You know, for the family, for our husband, to be obedient to them. But of course, they're not doing that, man. Just like the way the Israelite, man, for us right now, we ought to worship Yahweh Shai, because of course Yahweh Shai is also a mediator to Yahweh, man. And of course, he's the main one who made the sacrifice for Israel, man, more specifically for the elect's sake. You know, that's why I said, I pray not for the world, but I pray for them. You know, that's in the book of John. You know, I pray for them, man. You know, that's the point. So of course, the same way that Yahweh has sacrificed in order to provide for us as well, we ought to also pay it back as well as we do these works too, man. You know, so that we got our responsibility here to pay back to Yahweh Shai, and of course Yahweh Shai will also help us intervene when discussing it with the Father Yahweh, man. You know, so that Yahweh Tazar will receive the salvation Yahweh Shai has offered up to us. So the same way we're also yearning and working towards Yahweh Shai as well. You know, aim to please Yahweh Shai, which is through our actions daily too. It's not just through videos as well, but it's through our lifestyle as well. You know, different tests be thrown here and there to see what we'll do. And Yahweh Tazar, we keep succeeding, man, until that final test of the MOTB and Yahweh Tazar, that we got that stern spirit to reject it in that day, man. So, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Tazar. But the point being is that as we're yearning towards Yahweh Shai, that's what the woman's supposed to be towards the Israelite man. But you don't see that today. You do not see that today. You don't see the humility today. You don't see the discreetness or the chasteness, you know. So of course, again, that's the trouble that they're going to get into. Now, I said I wanted to skip down a few verses. So 1 Corinthians 8, it says here to 12. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 8. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. So of course, right there in verse 11, yes, it does also say that, of course, I was even just thinking about it too. Yes, the man holds the seed, but through a woman, that's how man is also born as well. So one can perceive it that way too. But nevertheless of that though, it says here in verse 12, actually, I did finish 11. 1 Corinthians 8 and 11, nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of the Most High Yahweh. So of course, as I said before, man, you know, man holds the seeds, and it's through a woman's womb, that's how man then comes to life, man, on earth. But despite this order there, the ultimate order is that the woman is below a man. You know, the woman is of the man. The woman is supposed to be a helpmeet to the man. You know, all in all, in terms of a general sense of society, the women are under the men. So, yeah, that's really the point right there, man. So, of course, as we are aware that, yes, the man holds the seeds and the woman, despite having a womb in order to deliver a man, it don't mean that she's supposed to pride herself of that, though, because the Most High has ordained that, you know, it's Yahweh Shai, it's the Israelite man, then you got the woman, then you got the children as well. That's the natural order of things. So if you go beyond that order and try and pride yourself just because you got a womb and then, you know, you can give birth to a man, it ain't supposed to be that way, because the Most High hasn't put the womb over the man. That's the thing, you know. So that scripture in verse 11, actually verse 12, where it says, for as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of the Most High Yahweh. You know, that shows that, of course, these are the things that are needed, because, you know, that's just the way Yahweh Shem Yahweh created things, where the man and the woman need to meet to give birth to another human being, man. You know, whether that be a man, whether that be a boy or a girl, you know, male or female. So, of course, with that alone, it don't mean that the woman is over the man. That's what I'm trying to say. They need each other, but the woman is still lower than the man in terms of how can I say this? Spiritual authority, you know, spiritual ordaining, you know, which is Yahweh, the rule of Yahweh of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, that he set up in the heavens, man. You know, the man is over the woman. That's the point of this video anyways. It seems that a lot of women have forgotten that. And they will have a reminder, man. When they start unlocking the prison cells as well, and the prisoners start coming out, you know, there's going to be a lot of judgment upon these women too, man. These prisoners are going to be slashing left, right, center. I'm talking about killing here, by the way. So, of course, that'll be Yahweh Shem Yahushua using 2/3 in order to get women as well, as Apostle Gabal said in that video. I think he named the video, whatever. I feel like I already said it, but I'll still say it again. This is why I'm not surprised or something like that. Or why am I not surprised? I think he named it that. Yeah, that was based upon women as well, where, of course, in that time, really it was just referring to the fact that just the behavior of the typical Israelite woman, man. You know, you're not really surprised by the result of her own actions, because it just makes sense that way, man. You know, with all these sexually transmitted diseases is because of the lack of accountability and the lack of discipline of which women have as well. Which again, you know, it's just the world going down, man, until Yahushua comes back to then reset everything. You know, there's different things that are just getting corrupted more and more in Esau's kingdom in order to just lead up to the ultimate downfall before Yahushua comes in and then sets things straight. Right, so that was 1 Corinthians. Let me get this precept to wrap up here as well. Because despite also having the mindset and also being aware as an Israelite man that you are over the women as well, it also takes discipline and strength to know that, okay, don't be subject unto their own beauty too. Which is another reason why men fall too, because, you know, as scriptures say, many have run out of their wits because of women. You know, many have run out of their ways of reasoning because of the women, man. So let me just say this, because this precept here, because it's a requirement of strength and self-restraint as well, as that we need as men, discipline, as you also deal with women. Which for those of us, well, really for brothers who really do deal with women, you know, some brothers have the Israelite wife, while other brothers have they may have a concubine or something, but you know, each to their own. But the point is, even as one deals with a woman, you still got to be cautious and have that discipline. Now, it says here, Ecclesiasticus 9 verse 2, give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. You know, your resources. You know, whatever Yahweh Shem Yahushua has blessed you with in this lifetime as well, you got to be careful with how you let women use it, man. You got flipping people having relationships where you got flipping joint account. You got to be careful with that stuff, man. Before she then, don't even know, change the password and flipping. I don't really know how it works, but the joint account, all I know is that, you know, two people can access one bank account. So you never know, one could just withdraw the money and then off. I'll talk about a woman here. So it says, give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance, man. You know, don't let her be extracting strength from, you know, from your resources, really, because that's what substance is. You know, it talks about your resources, whatever little riches that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has blessed you with. You know, whatever resources is giving you, you gotta be careful how you deal with women when it comes to that. So it says, meet not with a harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. Again, you know, do it with caution. Use not with the company, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. And obviously, a singer as well, you know, in that aspect of things, could be used as a seductive tactic too, man. That's why in the movies you always see when the woman is on the stage singing, you know, moving her body, and then the men are also below the stage sitting down on seats as well. That can also be used as a seduction tactic too. It says here, verse 5, gaze not on a man, and thou fall not by those things that are precious to her, which is obviously her parts, you know, her breasts, you know, her bum as well. You know, those are the things of which men are typically attracted to, and that's why, you know, many men fall, because they need to have that discipline and self-restraint in order to resist those women, which of course, you know, you pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to have that strength in order to do so, and of course he'll give you tests in order to strengthen that self-restraining ability in your mind. So it says, give not thy soul unto harlots, and that thou lose not thine inheritance. So again, similar to the one about substance, you just gotta be careful, man, of how you flipping be giving your resources to women. It said, look not around. Okay, that's I'm not even sure. I don't even think that's related, but let me skip to verse 8. It says, turn, Ecclesiasticus 9 verse 8, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as fire. So of course, you know, you got the point there with those verses that I read is that you've got to be cautious when it comes to really even just the sight of a woman as well. If you know that, okay, you can't really give into it. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, yes, a beautiful woman walks by, but we gotta have that self-restraint and say, okay, right, she may have a man at home, so you might as well just remove your eyes. Which you know, you notice them, but the point is not to stand there gazing at them, man. That's the point. Because if you stand there gazing at them, that's when the thoughts of you know, the sexual desires then start to ramp up, man. Then demons can leverage off of that. So you might as well cut it from the get-go. So yeah, man. Let's see if there's anything else. But yeah, that's really the point, man. Women gonna learn their intended purpose, which is to help their husband. You know, young women are supposed to be, you know, kept in the father's house, and then obviously delivered onto a man of reason, and a man typically of substance as well, so they can look after the woman and the family as well. You know, when they're fruitful and they're multiplying. But the intended purpose of women is to help, man. As I broke it down from the beginning of this video, about them being a help me, a succor, you know, helping a man at a time of distress and help and trouble. So that's really the point right there, man. You know, Ya Ratazar, that you're edified. It's been a brother Ratazar Raha Halawiyah, and Yahba Shem and Shah Brakatha. You know, yeah, which means Yahba Shem and Shah bless ye, or Brakatham, which means bless you in plural. So bless you, lot. Then it's the brother Ratazar Raha Halawiyah, willing spirit praise Yahweh. And Kahalayim La Yahweh Shem Yahshah Bashem Kodash, double on Instagrams and apostles, and Thawdi Yahshah for the strength in order to make this video as well. And Yahweh to that you brothers have understood the lesson as well, man. So yeah, shalom.